Nick has blamed a lot of the degeneracy that has happened on his Discord. That is where the bottle in ass pictures were leaked. I think that the real problem and source of the degeneracy is his locals, specifically the locals chat. And these issues predate the Discord getting shut down. Many of the screenshots that I'm about to show you guys from the locals are just from the last few days, according to the people that sent them to me. Some are older that came from the Kiwi Farms thread, but this sort of shit is posted on a regular and constant basis in the locals. This isn't just like an occasional thing where, okay, a lewd might pop up in there, you know, once every couple days or something. No, this is... every single day there is somebody in there posting lewd pictures of themselves. The images posted usually aren't fully nude. They're like lewds where they've censored them like with emojis or cutouts of Nick's face over the nipples and things like that. I have gone a step above and beyond with all the pictures that I have for you guys by really going overboard with the censoring. Just out of an abundance of caution. So it's enough to give you guys the idea of the simp culture and thottery and everything that is happening there. The pictures that I'm going to show are of other women that are members of his locals that are posting pictures of themselves in the chat on a daily basis. Okay? I want to get through this as quickly as possible because it's just as uncomfortable for me as it is for everybody else. I'm giving some examples here of what the culture is like on his locals. We see a pretty lady and we simp. Them's the rules. This is prudes make me blue, and then a photoshopped logo, Ricada Lawless. And this is also the same person.
Now, I'll be getting a zip file of the unaltered images after this.
No, nobody's... And like I said, these are all censored.
See you later.
These are all censored already, the originals are, but they're censored to the minimum. So there's like emojis over the nipples and stuff.
So you have to verify you're saying.
My imagination can fill in the blanks.
Then we've got a few people in there. The men, this guy in particular, a complete random, that apparently goes and collects these images from the chat and saves them in albums and then drops them in albums for Ricada. So this is, he's reading things, time for another drop. So he's putting this in the chat when Nick is live on locals to try to catch him unawares and get him to look at these pictures while he's on stream. This guy does this a lot. We've got a complete random down here. We also have this lady, egalitarian bitch, and asking...
Strong username.
She's also adding him. This is during his live stream, okay? So he's seeing this on his live stream on locals, okay? And she says, Ricada Law, do you want the non-censored version or will I be lynched? Crying, laughing emoji. All right, so this is the kind of culture that is on there, and Ricada encourages it. So this is where a complete random, who I mentioned before, has posted an album saying, Ricada Law, how's your day going? And then he drops this album with a bunch of women in it. And this is Ricada replying to it, saying, great. I had another one, which I guess I've misplaced, but it's the same guy doing the same thing, posted an album and tagged Ricada in it. And Ricada said, I love you. Send these again when I'm sober. So he's encouraging the people in there to do this. And not only that, he's directly encouraging and interacting and flirting with the women that do it too, not just the dudes that are collecting these and putting them in albums. All right. So in the first clip that I showed you guys, well, I guess it was like the third clip here.
How does Lady Rackets feel about like all the tits that your husband sees of like people that are like always around? Whatever, all the tits. I don't know.
She says, what? What? So this is like the first she's hearing of this.
Only one person who has posted their tits in locals chats.
They're sitting next to each other in the same room. So she's looking over at him, giving this explanation as to what's going on.
There were two paths that appeared that night, and we took the bad path. The other path was divorce.
She says, "This is news to me." So she has not known up until this point that there are tits being posted in locals.
I scrambled to delete it immediately. Locals has a no nudity, no pornography rule, and Mandy broke that rule. It's not. I did not want her to post breasts in the
her
chat.
own breast?
Yes.
How do you know it's her own breast?
Well, I don't technically know.
Good answer.
She said
Good
it was hers.
answer. No,
Here,
just
look, they're right there.
I don't
Except with
need
my
to
face
see
over the
any-
nipples.
Thank you.
Because you can't post this shit in locals.
Okay, so do you see them?
I mean,
Like,
She did.
Sort of.
They're right there.
He's talking to Mandy here. That's the person whose tits got posted at that time. So that was back at the end of October. This is just a couple weeks ago.
Mandy K, please tell me I wasn't responsible for opening the boob pic floodgate. I don't know if you were or not. Mandy. Hey, Mandy, let me tell you directly. So I don't know if I've ever said this. Nice tits, girl. Go get it. Go get it.
That's what a married man would say.
Right. And remember, I showed you guys what he had to say about his wife's body after pregnancy and stuff.
By the way, when she has kids, the second you pump all that semen into her and she gets pregnant, her body is destroyed for the next 3 to 5 years. If you have 5 kids, her body will be destroyed. Destroyed. Like, we paced out two years per kid, basically. 13 years.
So he's talking about his wife now. All right, we've gone from just talking in generics about
haven't you had about like 12 kids? So like you're not going to be right until you're 120, right?
Right. Like I said, at this point he has moved the analogy from just talking about pregnancy in general to now he's talking specifically about his wife, okay?
And pumping semen in her.
Minimum 13 years where she is not going to be that 8, 9, 10 that you married. And more importantly, because you probably won't care, it's going to be fine for you, but it won't be fine for her because she's going to remember being an 8, a 9, a 10. She's going to remember that. But now, no matter how much she runs, no matter how much she walks, that stomach skin just doesn't go away. Those abs don't tighten up. She could do 1,000 crunches. It doesn't matter. She could do 1,000 crunches a day. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Her tits, after the baby's done breastfeeding, they're going to be pancakes down to her fucking waist. It doesn't, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So keep that in the back of your mind. What he said about his wife's body contrasted with what he says to all these women that he's interacting with on the locals. Here's some examples of Nick interacting with people in there, flirting. I'm your boyfriend. I give excellent fashion advice to women. Wear less. Nick trying to turn this chat into a sex chat like we aren't all in horny jail. I don't know if chat needs Nick's help turning it all on our own. That doesn't get us out of horny jail, though. I've been in horny jail all day. I owe Alicia in Florida an apology. May have been out of line with her. I am not opposed to fun. Let's see here. And then here's Rakeda down here replying about this comment and saying she's horny worthy. So he's talking about Alicia and saying that she is horny worthy. Here's Alicia telling a story about giving a cop roadhead to chat. And Rakeda says, very cute. Somebody said that they didn't need to hear that, like they didn't need to hear her story about giving roadhead. And Rakeda says, no complaints, this is a good story. And she says, we let a truck driver watch for a minute, and he laughs. Ha, 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 ha. So he's interacting with people, posting sexual stories, and then he's also responding to people's pictures. This is a woman based from Mars that's talking about moving. She's going to move to a different city. I'm hoping my life will fall into place down there. I'd be much happier all around, and that would probably benefit my social life. And somebody else replies, having people nearby is important for a single young lady. I know it increases your overall confidence. And then Rakeda replies to her and says, I hope you don't make friends. And then she replies saying, I probably won't because I'll be like, sorry, I can't hang out. I'm busy. Opens Locals app. So this is an example of like parasocial behavior, which is what I've been harping on. This is somebody that she's about to move to another city, and he's saying, you know, I hope that you don't make friends so that way you stay dependent on this community of online people.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird.
That's cult-like mentality.
What an odd thing to say.
What's going on here? Ricada, top shelf stomach eyes. I do kind of like the angry eyes.
That is kind of funny.
It is kind of fucking funny. I once had a dream about rackets. Ricada, same, to be honest. Were you naked in the dream? Ricada, yes.
This guy's like just on permanent horny.
Yes. With everybody. Ricada, I pushed for bulge posting and was one of the first male ass posters. Oh, this is the screenshot I missed earlier with a complete random. He likes to drop albums of women's photos from chat. Ricada's replying to him and says, I love you. Please send to me when sober. So the culture, as I've established, is very centered on thirst posting of photos, the simps males that are like orbiting these women. Ricada is interacting with them. And anybody in the chat that pushes back against it is being attacked and shamed, even by like mods of Ricada's.
Imagine, if you will, like you've stumbled across Nikki Rackets because you want to hear some sort of like high level like discussion of the law. You join this community and it is just tits and ass.
This is Sally78, which I will talk about her in a little bit. It's usually tits and ass I wait for. And then she's posted. When she posts, all right, a lot of people are saying, oh, that's hot. Alyssa Clips, who has been posting clips of Ricada's channel lately, she says, gross. And everybody piles on to her. Says a woman. No one cares. See Goody 564. This is one of his mods. Shut the fuck up. And then whatever this emoji is supposed to mean. So anybody that pushes back against this stuff that's being posted, they're immediately piled on, including by moderators of his chat. And speaking of C. Goody, he has been running defense hard for Ricada throughout this whole thing. C. Goody is a mod, and so this is from YouTube comments on Alyssa Clip's channel, where she has been doing nothing except for posting clips from Ricada's streams. She's not adding commentary to it. She's simply clipping and compiling. Like sometimes she might clip out parts in the middle or things like that. And there's been a lot of arguing in the comments between people that are watching this whole thing with horror and people that are trying to run deflection and defense. And so C. Goody mod says, hey, at least 1/4 of said harem is mine. So he believes that he is he's one of the I don't know, lieutenants in this organization, and is taking possession of some of those women. He has more going for him than he's ever had. Someone's either jealous or delusional. Yeah. And then this is another comment from C. Goody, which is complete cope. He's always been this degenerate. He simply kept it behind closed doors. He's Protestant, and frankly, it isn't sinning if he's staying true to his wife. Well, we're going to get into that because I'm sure that comment is going to age like milk. We're going to get into some of the specific people involved in this little toxic cult of personality that's been forming in locals. The first two that I want to talk about are Egalitarian Bitch and her husband, Art the Clown. I showed a screenshot earlier of where she had posted some tits in his live chat while he was live. Art, her husband, is apparently fine with his wife posting, lewd pictures of herself. But
how many Ayn Rand books has he read?
All right, so this is Egalitarian Bitch. Somebody put together like a fake captcha with different women from locals, and obviously if it's a captcha, you're supposed to see which one is Egalitarian Bitch. Ricada says, I passed this test. So he's saying that he can pick out her ass or tits from a lineup, essentially. This is somebody else in the chat that has been fighting with Art, Cynthia Libtard. Honestly, fuck off, Art. I've posted 2 booby pics. I have a sex life. I've met men online. You're shaming a mom of 3 from, and then it's censored.
You're shaming a mom of 3.
So Art the Clown, who's married to Egalitarian Bitch, an egalitarian bitch, posts pictures of herself in this chat. He is shaming other women for posting their pictures. What? It's okay for his wife to post pictures of herself, but other women can't, apparently, according to him. Here he is on YouTube. Art the Clown, didn't you get your start by whoring out your wife on Locals? And then he replies, showing her body willingly isn't whoring, LOL. It's fun.
Yeah, at least
Wrong.
whores get
Yes,
paid.
it is.
What a simp response.
At least whores get paid.
So this is the screenshots that I was sent today. They may be from his Locals today. I'm not sure. Sally asks, since when do you care about them? Talking about his detractors. And Rekieta says, I don't. C. Goody, the mod, says, the shit the Kiwi fags and Discord cucks are saying about you and the Alyssa Clips comments are hilarious. And Art the Clown said, believe me, I've been shitting all over Alyssa in her comments. And Rekieta replies to him and says, she's very mad. So Rekieta is aware that Art the Clown and C. Goody and others are going and raiding Alyssa Clip's comments and just being nasty, doing things like attempting to dox her and things like that. It's gotten very, very ugly in her comments. Here's another thing. Ultra Woodchipper asks, what did Alyssa do? C. Goody says she's butthurt about A, Discord being shut down, and B, Nick being open about his sexual escapades and feelings and such. And then Rekieta replies to that and says, I think she's actually most mad about A. So he's accusing Alyssa of being angry that the Discord was shut down. And that's why she's making clips of him speaking in his own words. Before I move on from Egalitarian and her husband, I just wanted to give you guys a couple of bits of information on what she thinks is pedophilia. So this is Egalitarian's...
Boy.
That's gonna be a fucking insight.
All right, so this is somebody in chat. Quick question for chat. What do you consider a pedo? Liking children, under teenager, young teen, anything under 18? What's your line for pedo? Well, she was, Egalitarian was very happy to answer that question. I think that if you are attracted to innocence and ages that look like children, you're a pedo. Let's face it, there are girls who are 16 or 17 who lie about their ages to get older guys and who don't look any kind of childlike. If they're old enough to know they have to lie, I don't consider that pedophilia. Maybe that's a hot take. So
you fucking cursed us.
Oh, dear God.
So Egalitarian bitch believes that if they're old enough to lie, they're old enough to fuck.
If they're old enough to lie, what?
Yeah, they're doing the thing.
I started to lie at 5 years old.
There's never a great road to go down. Yeah.
Everything, it seems, in Rekieta's Locals has been just like this little slippery slope downward, you know, where at first it was don't post tits on Locals. And then we'll get to, in a little bit, I have screenshots of Rekieta saying, well, technically nipples aren't against TOS. And then most recently, a couple nights ago, somebody posted a vagina picture in his Locals. And that happened while he was live on stream. So we'll get there. I promise you. This is interaction of Rekieta with Based from Mars. That's the girl that was going to move. So he says, wait, Italy with an I, because that makes it a stripper name. And she says, if this pole class ever takes off, I'll use that as my name. He says, I'll hold you to it. She says, now that I'm moving to Florida, there's a strip club on every corner, so there's plenty of options. He says, I'll bring the money gun and douse the hose in singles. She says, that would be truly wild. And then he says, here's mine, ha ha ha, and he shows a picture of his actual money gun. You ever use one? I bought one in Miami. It's a fucking riot. So this is him telling a girl that if she does stripping, that he'll show up with his money gun and douse her in ones. All right. This is Rekieta posting a picture of himself from the shower. So this is like terminally online behavior. Posting pictures from his own shower. So we've discussed Egalitarian bitch and her husband Art the Clown. We've talked about C. Goody. Next on the list is Sally 78. And if you follow me on the Fediverse, you may have seen this picture. I have cropped it considerably. It did show a lot of underboob, and it went down pretty fucking low in the...
Is that a C-section scar?
Or a
Yes.
bullet wound.
So it says, Rackets was here. She's drawn this on herself.
I like that you kind of fucked up the R a little bit there.
Well, it's kind of hard drawing on yourself, I guess.
Drawn on yourself using, like, your kid's Crayola markers. I'm not going to post all of her photos. It's just to give you an idea. She is a very prolific poster, posts pictures of herself all the time in there. And it is immediately obvious, to me at least, that she is a woman that is so obsessed with Rekieta that she probably wants to fuck him and then rip his skin off and wear it like a coat. That's my impression of her obsession with Nick. And Nick is okay with this because there are plenty of pictures where she has posted images of herself and he has replied. Good night, Sally. The chat becomes less hot when you leave. Did I give you this one? Sally asks. And he says, beauty. All right. There's
a face pic too. You can see her face in there.
Yeah, there's a ton of these. All right. So she's posted a ton of images. I don't want to show them all. We don't have time to show them all.
Jeez, that must be good for Lady Racket's confidence.
Right. Remember how I said
sure
at the
she loves
beginning?
it.
I wanted to show you guys that pregnancy clip of Rekieta. I wanted you to keep that in your mind. So contrast that, talking about his wife and what happens to her body after 5 children, and contrast it with this, where he is directly interacting, replying, giving positive feedback, and flirting with these women that are posting pictures of themselves in his locals and calling them beautiful. SPQR and Odyssey says, aren't they in an open marriage? If they are, he has not said that. He has made very adamant points that when they go out together to underwear parties at the gay bar and get hit on by other people there, that they are having monogamous fun, that he says that it's fun for them to go out and get hit on by other people and then come home just the two of them together. So, according to Rekieta, they are monogamous. They are not in an open relationship. So, there you go.
It's monogamous with a little asterisk above the top of it.
Sally asks, no nipple, right? Damn, did I get it? Meaning, did she get it covered up? And he says, technically, nipples don't violate TOS, but I've been trying to keep it from being a literal constant spam of bare tits from Instagram and OnlyFans. And somebody says, you're going to regret admitting this, LOL. Rekieta says, I can still delete them. And this person says, I would prefer no nipples in chat personally, but I know no one cares what any of us think. And then Traslon says, can you delete them fast enough? And then she posts an ass pic. Rekieta says, me too, honestly, that he would prefer no nipples in chat. I still keep the no nipple policy, by the way. I'm just saying the locals won't get yeeted for a nipple, but I'd prefer not to have it because it will get out of hand. And I love nipples, as it's not out of hand so far. And then we have somebody that's actually maybe sane in the locals saying, homie, delete. You retarded right now? I can help. The floodgates to nippledom have been opened, and so the ante was upped just a couple nights ago. This is the vagina pic that got posted in locals chat, which is very censored. Don't worry. All right, I've even put locals branding on it for them. And this is Nick's live reaction to it, because this happened when he was on a stream.
God damn it. Okay. I have to delete these pictures, guys. You can't. There's one rule on locals. Hold on. I need just a second to go through and get rid of these. I thought those were fingers, frankly.
Oof.
I didn't realize that those were lips. There is one rule on locals. It is no pornography. That's the main thing. That's the main
No
bit of it.
pornography.
But other than that, you can say all sorts of shit. You can say all of the fun words. and come into
Fun
chat
words.
and hang out.
Oh, I've
It's-
got
know
some
what?
fun words. Can I
You'll
say
actually
them on
find
Nicky
No.
Racket's YouTube
you'll
channel?
find a pretty fun
I
fucking
know one word
community.
you can't say.
So he's right after somebody posts a vagina in his locals, he's shilling the locals and saying it's a great fun community. You're really going to enjoy it, but don't post pornography. So I don't know. I guess we got different definitions of what pornography is. You know, he also talks about how he doesn't want to moderate the chat. Yeah. So this is very recently him discussing with chat about turning the locals chat into paywalled. Because right now anybody can see the locals chat. You don't have to be a paying member to see it. I'm strongly considering making
I
chat
don't like where this is going.
making chat exclusive only. That would get rid of a lot of problems. Like no lurkers. Yes, please. What would be the difference? That would be great. I didn't fully realize the chat itself was visible. It should be exclusive only. It'll stop people who don't pay from reading it and gaining ammunition against you. Others can watch but not interact, which gives me fishbowl vibes. They still will, but it's more difficult.
Watching but not interacting.
That is what killed Ass Wednesday. Ass Wednesday. They have an Ass Wednesday. Is there a way to make it paid only? I lurked for a while, but it pulled me in. And Ricada says, this is why I haven't done it. I have to try it from an anonymous account or something. Chat is supposed to be exclusive, but it may be viewable. So they're discussing how to hide all this shit now, because there's been a lot of criticism talking about what's going on in his locals, the things that are happening. I'm definitely not the first person to have talked about it. And now they're talking about how to hide it. How best can we hide this stuff to prevent you from getting ammunition?
I posted this in live links forever ago. I wanted to read it.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me see. It's from somebody named Jessie May. And this is her story about how she got into Ricada's local chat. Okay, to the sexy pics by any person, here's my story. Married 10, divorced 2, forced to raise a kid together, next 8, miserable, until I caught this stupid grifting lawyer with my sense of humor with the Rittenhouse trial. Month later, I am involved in this chat and get confidence from the guys here and the women. I post some ass pics, get busted, fight, oh yeah, until he sees what you guys say about me and fags, cough, cough, cough. You fell in love again or something. IDK, love you guys and gals. Like, that's fucking creepy and weird and sad and pathetic. Am I the only one that feels that way?
Yeah, so she's basically saying that she got into the community, posted pictures of herself to make herself feel better about herself, and then got busted by her husband. And then he saw what the local chat said about her, and they fell in love again. It is very creepy. Yeah.
Hey, yes, I believe that.
Yeah. Cuckoldry.
Right.
The most intelligent way to have sex.
I've been a fan of Nick's, his channel, for a long time. I'm a subscriber. I've sent super chats on occasion on both YouTube and Rumble. I supported him during the whole Keffel saga when he was getting banned off of different platforms. I found him funny. I enjoyed the legal analysis. When he was shown the Where's Lolcow poster on his stream live back in October, he pulled it up and looked at it and laughed his ass off on it, and he said, this is what the internet was made for.
Clairebere. Nick, did you get a chance to see the Where's Lolcow poster that you're in? Yes, I did.
That is
Should we show
hilarious.
Yes.
This is beautiful. This is what the internet was for right here. This is what the internet was actually created for. The Where's Lolcow. It's Where's Waldo. You got PPP. You got Mundane Matt over here carrying boulders. You got Jim's Chud Buds. You got Jim up here. Here's me with the unbreaded right here. That's fucking fantastic. You got down here. I love this is what art is. Okay. This is the art that I don't understand, because not only did they draw all this stuff, I understand that part of art. Oh, I'm gonna fictionalize. Here's Dick Masterson. I'm gonna fictionalize and draw people. They drew them in the fucking perfect theme. Oh, it's great. What a fucking good, what a good piece of art that is.
which was just like super thrilling to myself and my husband, the artist, on the Where's Lolcow poster. So all that is to preface by saying I have no ill will towards Nick at all. But I do think that he's being very obstinate in refusing to understand why people dislike the way that he has been acting lately, or why people are laughing at him over all this behavior. I don't hate him. I was never a member of the Discord, so I'm not mad that it was being shut down. Also, Discord is stupid and can go eat a bag of dicks. But that's a whole nother topic. I certainly don't see him as my internet dad, as he accuses the people on Kiwi Farms of, especially since we're like 2 years apart in age. So I also think he's being stubborn about the desire to not moderate his community. Like, he keeps saying, I don't want to have to mod this shit. It's okay to have some standards, Nick. I mean, you've gone from don't post tits back in October to nipples are technically not against TOS, to a couple nights ago, don't post vaginas. The one rule we have is no pornography. And I guess, like I said before, I think we maybe have different definitions of what constitutes pornography. And you said in your stream last night that you think that porn can be harmful to adolescent boys. So I'd really like to ask you, would you let your sons hang out in your locals? I mean, I know that he's a libertarian, but this also feels a lot like laziness. He claims not to have time to moderate the locals, but he admittedly spends hours in there every day. He has at least one moderator in there, the C. Goody person that we talked about, who seems to do nothing except for snipe back at any detractors. So I guess what it boils down to, for me at least, is like a disappointment and a sense of like secondhand embarrassment for Nick and his wife. I'm very uncomfortable with the way that he includes his audience in his fetishes. He has said that he's only going to discuss those sort of topics from now on his local streams and not on YouTube or Rumble. But that doesn't really fix the issue or make it better. That just kind of hides it away from the more casual viewers, just like discussing how can we paywall or hide what's going on in locals from the casual member so that they don't get ammunition to use against me. His more dedicated audience that is part of that community is still going to be exposed to it. And I haven't checked if he's streaming tonight, but if he isn't, I know why he isn't. It's because he's going to a glow party at a gay bar where everyone will be in body paint and dancing under black lights. I know this because he told us on a stream. I wish I didn't know this. There's no reason for me to know this. This is basically just to say this isn't about being a prude or an incel. This isn't about neoconservatives being ass mad that he's letting his freak flag fly. He is creating a toxic community filled with toxic people, as I've shown. He's encouraged his wife to share lewd photos. He's shared them of himself. He's encouraging really inappropriate parasocial relationships with women in the locals by flirting with them and giving them positive feedback and telling them their tit pictures are beautiful. It's probably only a matter of time before the whole thing explodes in his face through a Me Too moment or something else. And maybe this is a midlife crisis. Maybe this is just the new Nick. But either way, Nick is oversharing. He's engaging in exhibitionism with his audience without their consent. So, I mean, he really shouldn't be surprised at the end of the day if his viewers withdraw that consent by unsubscribing from his content. And I hope that he figures this out before this completely ruins his career or his marriage. And that's really all I have to say on it.
Yeah.